92 and Segafredo Virtus Bologna. And Nanterre, a team that entered the competition via the qualification round 3. They've come a long way to make it to the final 8. I think you can already say it has been a hugely successful season for this team in the Basketball Champions League. Now already the quarterfinals are underway. Nizhny Novgorod losing by 15 at home to Telenet Giants Antwerp today. Hapoel Jerusalem are underway right now with Iberostar Tenerife and Borussia Bamberg are battling it out once again for the third time this season, in fact, against AEK. But our attention now is on Nanterre and Bologna. Nanterre, a team that perhaps has started to peak at the right time of the Basketball Champions League season. And they are taking on a Virtus Bologna team that has had some changes. You see the upper right quadrant there, Nanterre getting past Besiktas, and Bologna overcoming Le Mans. And, well, Virtus will no doubt start as favorites. They've got that long, successful winning tradition at Virtus. And even though they've won a lot of games and they finished first in their group in the Basketball Champions League, things weren't going as well as they needed to in Italy, just on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So they had a coaching change and brought in Sasha Djordjevic there. You can see his name at the bottom. Everybody knows him. Brian Qualley, David Corno, Amath Mbai, Pietro Aradori, Mario Chalmers now with his team, Dejan Kravic, Alessandro Capelletti, Filippo Balderossi, Tony Taylor, Alessandro Paiola. This is a team that was built to win, and they've got to come out and get the job done. And don't forget, Martin is in their team. This is a very, very good, deep and talented Virtus team. And for Nanterre, well, you can see that man that we were just looking at, Jeremy Singlen, who's number 30. This team coached by Pascal Donadieu, Demetrius Treadwell, Odysseus Gavicius, Lau Konate, Julian Gamble, Hugo Vernizzi, Raker Paulson, Armand Mensa, Corentin Carne has played well, been impressed by him. Jean-Marc Panza. Also, this is a Nanterre team that, quite frankly, if they're playing together, and playing focus, they can come out and they can beat the best teams in the Basketball Champions League. So Sasha Djordjevic, his team has its work cut out for it tonight. They've got Yannick Morea in the lineup. That is a plus. He was not in that second leg in the round of 16. Here he is coming out. Remember, he started the year playing with PAOK, joined him in mid-season. I didn't mention Kevin Punter during the roster. The talking of the rosters, but he's obviously one of the top players, arguably in the history of the Basketball Champions League. All you have to do is remember last year when he played for AEK Athens, it helped them win the title. So this is a Virtus team, and the question is, have they peaked, or are they going to peak? Will they ever peak? That's probably the bigger question. They started the season winning a lot of games in the Basketball Champions League under former coach Pino Sacropanti, but the change, the ownership felt was needed, so they made the change, and they brought in the big name of Djordjevic, and they certainly cruised to victory in his first game in charge, 81-58 over MSB Le Mans. So a great moment, really, to welcome this team to Nanterre. And now the Nanterre team is going to be introduced. These teams did not meet in the regular season. Nanterre, of course, had to really play well at the end of the season to make it into the playoffs. And, well, led by Singlen, really. I mean, he was their real star performer. They were able to win in the last round without Dominic Waters. They're one of their key backcourt men. So that, again, showed a real test mentally for this team. And Waters still not available. You can see he's there wearing the street clothes and the white shirt, so that's a blow. Maybe he'll be back for the second leg. It remains to be seen. But looking back at Nanterre's results, obviously they won against Besiktas in the last round. Before that, they beat Cologne 74-62. Monterrey Venezia, they lost on January 30th, but they won their 3 games before that. So they came into the playoffs having won 3 of their last 4 games. Excuse me, 4 of their last 5 games. And certainly one of the form teams, but they were that was one of the more impressive performances that I've seen. Their opening leg against Besiktas that they won at home 68-59. That was a team that was supremely focused. Here are the teams now shaking hands at mid-court and getting ready to go to battle. There's Tony Taylor shaking hands with Dominic Waters. And those 2 guys can play basketball, let me tell you. And it's good to see him talking beforehand. Tony Taylor, he'll rip your heart out during the game. Don't mistake that that man being nice before the game. He's a tough character on the court, and Nanterre certainly missed that man, Waters. They got to come out and get a win without him tonight. There's Djordjevic, of course, a great player in his day, also the Serbian national team coach. Referees tonight, Antonio Conde in the middle there from Spain, Georgios Porsanidis on the right, and Thomas Yosavicius from Lithuania on the left, so an experienced refereeing crew. Segafredo Virtus Bologna kind of limped into the playoffs. They won 3 of their last 5 games. They had a couple of narrow defeats, in fact, to Besiktas and Strasbourg, but then they finished with a win over Prometheus. So Tony Taylor, Punter, Adadori, Mbai, and Kravic in the starting 5 for Segafredo Virtus Bologna. And Djordjevic, again, having coached in a lot of places, really. Panathinaikos. He coached in Germany as well, Bayern. And he's probably had his greatest success with Serbia's national team, getting him to the final of the 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Spain, getting him to the final of the Olympics in 2016, and also the final of the last Eurobasket in 2017. So Singlen, Konate, Paulson, Invernizzi, and Treadwell in the starting 5 for Nanterre.
N'hésitez pas, quand on veut jouer longtemps, on fait jersey, quand on veut travailler longtemps. Le premier, on fait shoulder. Balle pour Hugo, hook, main à main, pick and roll au large. Trey, écran pour Hugo. D'accord, Hugo? Hein? Attends bien qu'il vienne te toucher pour sortir ici. Les gars, on est tout de suite prêts en défense. En attaque. Jouer relâché. Okay, jouer relâché. Okay, on n'a rien à perdre. Okay, jouer avec beaucoup d'enthousiasme, beaucoup d'envie. Okay, allez, let's go. Hey,
so you're able to listen in to Donadieu and his translator there. Let's hear Coach Djordjevic. Well, not hearing too much. Unfortunately, we got the mics down by the huddle, and by the France International and Tony Taylor soundproofing wall there. So we're about ready to start things off, and looking at some of the other action tonight. Hapoel Jerusalem up 45-36 at halftime on Tenerife. Remember, Tenerife won the inaugural title. And Borussia Bamberg up, coming up on the midpoint of the second quarter in a very low-scoring game against Ike, 20-14. And Nizhny Novgorod losing at home 83-68 to what is now officially the surprise package of this Basketball Champions League season, the Telenet Giants Antwerp, with Paris Lee pouring in 24 points in that game. Nanterre have won three of their 4 games against Italian teams in the Basketball Champions League. This is actually Virtus' 3rd trip to France this season. And they haven't won in France this season. Well, good evening, folks. We're underway here at the Palace. It's Nanterre taking on Virtus Bologna as Virtus winning the opening tip. The black and attacking the basket to the left on your screen. And it's Mbaye backing up Paulsen and scoring down low. One of the real, I would suggest, revelations of the season, Mbaye, in the Basketball Champions League. Also got a chance to play for France in the European qualifiers. And Vernizzi, who played for France as well, comes out and misses with his first attempt. Virtus spreading it out. Now Mbaye trying to set a pick. Now he wants it. Going to go to work on Paulsen again. Going up against the Icelandic international. Passes it back outside to Aradori, who puts up a mid-ranger. Pietro Aradori, the Italy international. So nice start here for the visitors. This is the key matchup. Tony Taylor on Senglin here at the beginning of the game, without question. Nanterre needs Senglin to get it going. Paulsen drives in and finishes. Wow, went right at Virtus and lived to tell the tale. Now Punter pulls up at the charity stripe. And Paulsen had that nasty facial injury in the last round. Almost loses it. It's a Senglin. Invernizzi again. Bounce pass and driving in. Treadwell was fouled. So he earns the first trip to the line for either team. Punter called for the reach, and this was Paulsen's drive. That was a sweet finish, wasn't it? Interesting with Treadwell starting here and Gamble coming off the bench. Donahue likes it. I mean, you really had to applaud Treadwell for his last performance. He was outstanding. I mean, just doing a lot of the dirty work. Gamble's a different type of center. He'll come out, he'll be a shot blocker, he'll be a low post threat, score. But Donahue likes having Treadwell in that starting lineup. He believes that it's just helps set the tone better and perhaps keeps Gamble out of foul trouble. Also interesting to see Kravic in that starting lineup for Virtus. He's got the size advantage on Treadwell. He's backing him up. He turns, he puts it up, short little jump hook, misses everything. Now Senglin. Heard Kravic running up from behind him. Now wide open, Lau Konate. And then Invernizzi flies in for the offensive rebound. Paulsen over to Invernizzi. And again, this time a little short. Bounces off the rim. Now Punter gets into the paint. And the Greek referee blows his whistle and calls the foul on Paulsen. Got him with the body. Punter misses the first. Hasn't really been at his best. Punter makes the second. Punter scored 20-plus points in 13 different games, the most among all players in basketball Champions League history. But he scored 12 points or fewer in his last 3 basketball Champions League appearances. So he hasn't really been clicking. Here's Treadwell, drives in, passes it back outside to Senglin, who pulls up, puts it up from deep. Good! He's just a scorer, out and out. So Senglin, look at him. And the hand was in the face, no less, from Tony Taylor. Now Adedori drives in, gets swatted out of, no, just gets swatted, and then Treadwell grabs the ball, gets it over to Senglin. And Tony Taylor commits the foul. What a play from Treadwell defensively to get the block and then got the ball before it went out of bounds. And Taylor reaches in. A couple of things happening on this end of the floor that no doubt will get on the nerves of Djordjevic. Invernizzi hands it off to Konate. He gives it to Treadwell, puts it up and in. I would not be surprised to get a timeout from Virtus. Interior passing. So Treadwell already with 4 points. Djordjevic putting his coat back on. Mbai gets it over to Punter. Shot clock down to 3. Punter's going to launch it. Watch. From a long way out. And only skims the net. And it's funny because with Djordjevic, he puts his coat on, then he starts to tighten his tie again. And it's almost as if it's like, right, I got to go back to work. Senglin goes to his right, back to Invernizzi. Konate, guarded by Punter, was asking for it. Now Treadwell has it, turns, puts it up, and tried to bank in another one. He had a good look. And Tenerife have stormed back to take the lead at Hapoel Jerusalem. And Ike trailing by just 2 as well. Great games all the way around. Shot clock winding down. Taylor goes behind his back, spins, gets in, gets blocked by Invernizzi. Here comes the Frenchman. Back to Senglin. Konate again, this time from the left. Good! The three-pointer! A 7-point advantage for Nanterre. And Djordjevic has seen enough. He calls timeout. He's got to make some changes. Quali's going to come back into the game, or he's going to enter the game. Kravic comes out.
4-5, pick and roll, coming off the pick. He's late. Switch, but switch aggressive. Come on the Invernizzi and build him. They are penetrating and then kicking. This is our problem. We don't let them. We play one-on-one. Remember, one-on-one. That's our stuff. Be more aggressive. We start the game aggressive, then we stop. No need. Let's go. Keep it up. You see there's a shot coming. We got to go for some of the rebounds. Some of Tony, we're just staying still and waiting for him to create. Let's go. Put some picks.
You saw the shooting numbers. Here are the rebounds. Good crowd here tonight in Nanterre, and Konate helping get that crowd fired up with that three-pointer. It's all looking good right now for the team in white and green. Again, this is a team that seems to be peaking at the right time of the Basketball Champions League season. Nanterre third in the French league. Here's Mbai missing, and Senglin brings it forward. Remember, this is the first half of an 80-minute game. First half will be played in Nanterre, the second half in Italy. And another foul called as Quali comes in, picks one up early. Could have called it on Taylor as well before that, but Quali gets it. So David Corno comes in for Aradori. Paulson bounce pass Treadwell. Oh, he goes to his left and then hands it off. They pass it back outside to Paulson. Remember, Nanterre really liked the three-point shot. And this time the ball goes out of bounds. So a little bit of a reprieve, but Nanterre, the only team in the whole competition, as Paulson goes out and is replaced by Adas Yuskavicius. They're the only team in the Basketball Champions League this season to have scored more points from three-point territory, 534, than from inside the arc, 530. So that tells you right there they want to put up their threes. Julian Gamble's checked in and helps force the turnover. Now Singlen. Look at him whip it around, looking for the three. Then it goes inside to Gamble, and he's fouled by Taylor, number 2. So it's Gamble that gets the credit for knocking the ball away. And Taylor, who's no stranger to slow starts, but he'll turn it on when the game gets hot. Trust me, folks. He goes out.
Julian Gamble on the line for 2 shots.
Gamble misses the first. The Durham, North Carolina native, played his college basketball at Miami for the Hurricanes. Misses both free throws. His wife just recently gave birth. So congratulations to them. He's probably getting a few sleepless nights. He's got to wake up now, though, and driving in, he picks up a foul on Chalmers, the former NBA champion. Look at him. Chalmers goes to the line. Played his college basketball at Kansas. And he had a long career in the NBA. He misses his first. And Chalmers makes the second to reduce the arrears to 6 points. Gamble hands it off to Invernizzi. Now Konate. So Yuskavicius in the right corner. And again, Nanterre trying to spread the court. Gamble sets the pick, but now Chalmers takes it right away from Yuskavicius and goes down and is fouled as well by Konate. And the insertion of Chalmers changing the game for Virtus.
Personal foul number 5. Là où Konate est second. Deuxième faute personnelle pour le numéro 5. Forcing foul.
Well, that's what a veteran does. He seizes the moment. And Konate goes to the bench. Karn enters the game. Now Chalmers was way off for that free throw. But a foul called on Yuskavicius as Chalmers chases the ball. And Virtus very quickly eating into that deficit here. They're only down 4. Now Chalmers goes back to the free throw line for a couple more. Here's the play. Yeah, and there was a nudge there from Yuskavicius right at the end on Chalmers. So a little bit of a horror show here in this last 10 seconds or so for Nanterre. As Chalmers gets it back to a 2-point deficit. Yuskavicius whips it back out to the perimeter. Now he gets it on the baseline and drives in. Oh, he just missed the layup. So the Lithuanian having some struggles here. Quali out to Chalmers. Now he gets it back to Quali. Now Chalmers on the baseline, and Chalmers nails another one. He's tied it at 12. Yuskavicius for 3. Good, that'll calm him down a little bit. David Corno feeds Quali, and he's fouled by Invernizzi. Good strong move by Quali. Wasn't able quite to finish it, but he was hacked. Watch this. Invernizzi got him on both arms. Played well last year for UE Baskets in Germany. Caught the attention of Virtus. Some of the Virtus faithful making the trip.
2 points by Quali, good one, substitution.
So Kevin Punter takes a seat, and Adodori comes back into the game. Corentin Card, bounce pass to Gamble. And Gamble did the hard work, then missed the layup, gets it back, puts it up and in. I think what frustrates Djordjevic there is that he missed a shot, but there was no Virtus player there for the rebound. Corno drives in and is fouled. So Gamble picks up his second foul. Plenty of visits to the free throw line here for Virtus. Already 7 of 10. Now 8 of 11 at the free throw line tonight. Nanterre 2 of 4. Minutes, 2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Gamble takes a seat. He's got the 2 fouls. Treadwell back in the game. Maybe we'll see Panza come in as well. Invernizzi fakes it, and he was fouled. by Filippo Balderossi. So 2 free throws coming for Invernizzi. That's a bad foul. Why do you go for the... You don't want to take the pump fake, and then you definitely don't want to foul him that far away from the basket. Nanterre might be struggling a little bit putting the ball in the basket, so you put a good shooter on the line. And he makes the first one. So the first rule, don't take the pump fake. And definitely don't reach in and commit the foul after. Complicate it. So 2 free throws. So Invernizzi goes out, and Rekor Paulsen comes back in. 46.7 seconds remains in an intriguing first quarter here in Nanterre. The first leg of the Basketball Champions League quarterfinals being played tonight. And this one right now going the way of Nanterre, but only a 3-point lead. Quali has it knocked out of his hands, or did he just lose it? I think it was knocked out by Treadwell. Suddenly a little bit of momentum, goes right back. And Treadwell, another trip to the line for him. He's fouled by Chalmers. And that's probably not a bad foul by Chalmers. Make him earn it. Treadwell's had a nice start to the game tonight. Only makes 1 of 2, so he's got 5 points so far, Treadwell. So Virtus will try to hold it for 1. Chalmers goes between his legs, behind his back, through his legs again. Fakes the shot, passes to Quali. Oh, boy. That was easy. Chalmers, the man of the moment for Virtus Bologna, with his scoring, with his passing, with his defense. Here he is again. Look at this. And I think Treadwell thought Chalmers was going to come in and drive, but he makes the pass that leads to the basket. 20-18, Nanterre 92 on top of Segafredo Virtus Bologna. 20-18 at the end of 1. Three-pointers for Nanterre. Now 5 of 8 at the free throw line, 8 of 11 for Bologna. Virtus have yet to make a three-pointer.
Start au second quarter. 2 minutes deuxième quart-temps. Remise en jeu. Nanterre avec le ball.
Second quarter action underway, and Singlen comes out, puts up a 3 immediately. Balderossi with the rebound. Corno passes back to Baldirossi for three, and Virtus Bologna have taken the lead.
Personal foul.
Chalmers reaches in, commits another foul.
Et second. Deuxième faute personnelle pour le numéro 15. Possession, non penalty possession.
Singland back to Treadwell, not going to shoot the three. Paulson held by Aradori.
Pietro Aradori. Is first. Première faute personnelle pour le numéro 21. Horizontal, non penalty goal.
Now Ricker Paulson going to work. Good D by Aradori. Now Chalmers. And Yuskavicius just reaches in, knocks it out of bounds. I was just checking the foul count on Chalmers. He's got a couple of fouls now to go with his 7 points. Tony Taylor also their other point guard with 2 fouls. Aradori misses, but Invernizzi called for a push-off on the box out of Baldirossi. Here's Aradori. Look at the battling down low. Yeah, you can't shove like that. No, you got to do a little bit differently to that. Treadwell reaches in. Another good play by him. Invernizzi is going to take his seat. And Panza, as expected, with some of the fouls accumulating. Invernizzi has 2, so he has to take a seat. Also Gamble and Konate each with 2 fouls. I'll tell you one thing, Chalmers works the referee on every single play, doesn't he? He wants the call. Quali goes out. And Yannick Morea, the Angola international, checks into the game. Singland pushed off with his right arm. Singland wants to get it going, but Djordjevic quite rightly knows that is the man that drives this team, and he has got somebody in his back pocket the whole time. Look at this. Right now it's Corno. And he's just looking for a little bit of space so he can start to contribute from a scoring standpoint. Baldirossi. Looked like it was going down, but it came out. Now Singland goes behind his back to avoid David Corno. Here he is going baseline. Passes it out to Raker Paulson. Go! You know those Nanterre boys want to shoot it from deep. Singland wants to, but if he's not going to be allowed to, he's certainly going to find somebody that's open. He's drawing double teams. Here's Baldirossi, another one for him. Nope, short on that one. Corno reaches in and commits the foul. Tony Taylor, meanwhile, back in the game. He's got the 2 fouls already. And Yuskavicius, who's checked in, picks up the personal, or is fouled rather. That was Singland finding Paulson. Singlen perhaps guilty of forcing it a little bit there. Panza, though, the extra effort. Gavish is open, front and back of the rim. Great positioning there by Treadwell, who just continues to do the little things that help his team win basketball games. Gavish just looks, bounce pass to Panza, puts it up and in. You gotta like the young man. Panza bringing something from the bench. Gavish sticking to punter like glue. Now Morea with the rebound, takes it back out. Punter, or Taylor, goes behind his back, gets it over to Punter in the left corner. Good, at three! A little bit of talking between Tony Taylor and Adasius Gavicius. Gavicius for three. Panza, another rebound. Gavicius passes it back out to Singlen. Oh, did you see that? What a great, quick, cat-like movement from Singlen to get it, control it. He took some punishment there, still made the shot, and he's going to go to the line. Look at this. This is out of the top drawer. The punter reached in and committed the personal. Suddenly Nanterre with the momentum again. And Singlen up to a 4-point lead. Now remember, Panza just 21 years of age and just trying to bring some physicality from the bench, some rebounding. He commits the foul here, but this was Singlen, the other end. He knows the contact is coming, so he leaves his feet, and then he just has such terrific balance. Look at Panza denying Morea the ball. Adadori. They're not going to let him have the three, so he takes the two instead. So 4 points for Adadori. Gavicius. Shot clock winding down. Treadwell gets into scoring mode, puts it up. And Donadieu wants a timeout. See if he gets it, and the reach, and that is team foul number 4 on Nanterre in this second quarter at the midpoint. So both teams will be shooting a lot of free throws, it stands to reason, the rest of the way here before halftime. And this is probably a good timeout for Nanterre.
La prochaine attaque, on fait tête. Prochaine attaque, on fait tête. On crée ici. Jean-Marc ici. On se rappelle, main à main. Ok, tête. Et après, Jean-Marc, en fonction de la lecture de jeu, quand Jérémy va recevoir la balle sur le main à main, regarde ce qu'il propose en défense. Ou tu poses le pick and roll ici, ou tu poses le pick and roll ici. Hey, et tu dois sprinter et bien poser l'écran. Fais pas de faute offensive. Pas de faute offensive.
Here, two side. Play. Scholar, listen. Play. Get the ball, Tony. Hand off here. Two side roll. Boom, and then
Assists,
attack.
turnovers.
Play yourself.
Raise en jeu. Segafredo versus Polonia ball. Quatrième point d'équipe pendant 92. Alors le chef commence à la suite.
Tony Taylor slips down, gets back up. Mbai really hasn't gotten into the flow of the game tonight at all for Virtus. There's Taylor driving in. What a finish that was. Look at this. Panza went up for the block as well. Perhaps fortunate not to be called for the foul. Paulson just grazed the outside of the net. All tied here at Nanterre. Great atmosphere in the Basketball Champions League opening leg of this quarterfinal. Shot clock winding down. Adadori has it knocked out of his hands. Good defense by Singlen and Nanterre. Scavicius open, and Treadwell with the rebound. Back outside to Invernizzi, who's in the game again. And this time it's Mbai that pulls down the board. Punter finds Adadori on the left, and that was a two. Well, he was a little bit ticked off on the previous trip down the floor that a foul hadn't been called, so he took his anger out. And drilled the jumper. Now Singlen may have caught Taylor by accident. And the ball batted out of bounds. No, thrown out of bounds by Invernizzi. And Taylor did not. He definitely caught an elbow. He's got blood. Look at this. I think is it from Treadwell? Oh no, his head, he collided with Singlen. So he goes out of the game, and Chalmers comes back in. And Taylor, meanwhile, needs some medical attention over there. Goodness me, look at the blood trickling from, I think it's his nose. That was you know what? I mean, he's such a great defensive player. He's going to stick his nose in there where it's not wanted. And that time the contact got the better of him.
On va mettre Dre ici. On va mettre Hugo ici. Okay? On va mettre Hawk ici. Okay? C'est Adas qui va faire la mise en jeu. D'accord? Hey, là, on fait en sorte. Hugo, tu t'en vas ici. Ok? Dre, screen middle. Toi, tu sors ici.
2 blocks for Nanterre.
Là. Adas à la balle. Jay ici. Ok? Là, tu viens ici. Trey te fait un écran et tu ressors le plus vite possible. Si c'est pas possible, Adas, passe pour Hawk. Hawk, fort le post-up.
No motion, just play and read. Bonus game, both sides. Bonus game.
Shooting inside the arc.
One down, read, check, and after that, just hide behind the big. Go one side, go other side, and read.
Well, just under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. See Dominic Waters sitting back there wishing he could be a part of this. But injuries are part of the game. Invernizzi takes the shot, gets it to go. The basketball gods, and Invernizzi, I thought he got fouled on that. He was certainly asking for one. And now kind of a late call on Singlen as Chalmers falls out of bounds. Watch this. Well, I think Chalmers can consider himself lucky on that one. He's explaining, he's like, I didn't touch him. It's like he just jerks his head up, got the contact, and went out of bounds. But the referee had good position there. And Chalmers makes both free throws. Paulson over to Yaskavicius, open, still can't get it to go. Now the drive, offensive fouls the call this time on Punter.
Personal foul number 8. Kevin Punter, his second.
So Raker Paulson adjudged to have gotten in there in time. Yaskavicius, meanwhile, for Nanterre, really struggling with his shot. 1 of 5 from three-point range. Djordjevic showing his opinion on the matter. Great defense that time. I think it was Mbai knocking it away from Invernizzi, then getting it before it went out of bounds. Virtus with a 1-point lead. Mbai misses Treadwell with the board. Raker Paulson over to Yaskavicius. Now 1 of 6, but Treadwell there with the offensive rebound. And he is fouled on the putback attempt. He could hardly play any better, Treadwell. He's been terrific. Great job getting position down low. And not for the first time tonight, he's been able to grab an offensive rebound. 3 of his 7 rebounds have come on the offensive glass tonight. Treadwell with 5 points, those 7 rebounds, a steal and a block, and he's 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Even as he goes back out of the game, Cornington Carr comes back in. He now has 7 points. And that was all because of the offensive rebound by Treadwell. Punter, good! Finally, get something positive to happen for Kevin Punter. Seven points, 2 of 3 from deep. Now the pass to Treadwell gets in, goes up with the left hand. Playing like an all-star tonight. 9 points. He ties it up.
Et tous les supporters, les bras en l'air, tout le monde.
He's reading
So
the pitch.
Virtus calling the timeout. Let's go down to the huddle.
You got to make the foul. We said, you're beaten. They got you. He's not getting a ceiling, whatever. Foul, put him on the line. Right? Hello. Okay. Mario.
Nanterre 5 of 14 from deep. 3 of 6 for Segafredo Virtus Bologna.
Stay. Okay. Go. Stay. Come. This. Actually.
And both teams doing a good job at the line, over 70%.
La mise en jeu, c'est la Segafredo Virtus Bologna ball.
And driving down is Punter. So he hits the 3. Now he scores with a drive. Skavish is still going to look, even though he struggled from deep tonight. Now he's going to drive. He's going to bank it in. Well, Virtus tried to take the time off the clock. Chalmers gives us that answer, and maybe he should have. But now maybe Nanterre need to hold it up. And indeed they will. So you have to wonder what Chalmers was doing that trip down the floor. And there Chalmers fouls Juscavicius while he was attempting a three-pointer. Juscavicius felt the contact coming, so he just immediately put it up. And I tend to think it was probably a foul before the shot. And now he's called a technical foul on Chalmers for complaining. So Kravitz goes out. Oh no, excuse me, I don't think he did call it technical.
On the line for 3 shots.
Juscavicius gets the first one to go. The second. There's still 5.1 seconds remaining. So Virtus have got time, and I would not be surprised if they got the ball to Chalmers and let him go as far as he could. So Mbai checks out. Oh, he gets it to Punter. Beautiful pass. Then Punter goes all the way down. Nobody picked him up. What a play by Virtus. And what was Nanterre doing? They were standing around. Nobody picked up Punter as he streaked down the floor and just laid it up. 40-39. Nanterre 92 on top of Segafredo Virtus Bologna.
Coco, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Hey, viens voir.
So Nanterre, you can see the numbers. Look like Corentin Karn was getting an earful after that defense. Nanterre out rebounding Virtus. by 4.
Caractérise dans un programme pédagogique unique et soigneusement élaboré par des artistes reconnus.
And we are at halftime with Treadwell, 9 points, 8 rebounds. What a sensational effort from him. He's almost doing a double-double. Punter with the 11 points. Treadwell also with the steal and a block. He's all over the place. He's Nanterre's most valuable player in that first half. Miscavicius with 8 points, Singlem with 6, Punter with 11, 9 for Chalmers, 6 for Aradori. So it's 40-39. Nanterre on top of Segafredo Virtus Bologna at halftime. We'll be right back before the start of the second half. Enjoy the highlights.
Pietro Aradori, the point. Pietro Aradori, the point. points, Kevin Butler. Kevin Butler. La boutique officielle de l'Inter de Toulouse nous ouvre ses portes à chaque d'entrée pour retrouver la toute gamme de produits Nike. Rendez Nanterre 92 à des tarifs défiant toute concurrence. Nike, équipementier de Nanterre 92, rendez-vous en boutique. Nanterre 92 est partenaire sportif de cœur de l'association Rêve qui réalise des briques du foot enfants gravement malades, leur permettant de s'évader du quotidien. Rejoignez l'aventure sur www.rêveaupluriel.fr. Respect, courage, solidarité avec le conseil départemental de Haute-Seine, partenaire de Nanterre 92, tous derrière les verts et blancs. Vous souhaitez rejoindre l'équipe des bénévoles du club? Rendez-vous sur le site internet de Nanterre 92 à l'onglet club et contact. Suivez votre équipe sur le nouveau site officiel www.nanterre92.com. N'oubliez pas de suivre également les pages Facebook et Twitter ainsi que le compte Instagram. Actu, photo, stats, info club, concours vidéo, etc. Tout y est. N'oubliez pas de nous rejoindre au prochain match, ce samedi 30 mars, coup d'envoi à 18h30 pour le choc entre Nanterre 92 et la SIG Strasbourg. Il reste encore quelques places disponibles. Applaudissements pour le retour de nos couleurs. Applaudissements sportifs pour nos adversaires qui entrent sur le terrain. C'est la Champions League, oui mesdames et messieurs. Le dernier match européen à domicile avant le Final Four. Qui sait peut-être à Nanterre.
Okay, coach, it's a tight game for the first half. What is your feeling about this first half?
That it's a tight game. That's a feeling. No, I believe we have to be smarter in playing their shooters. This is a great shooting team, and we got to do a better job on defensive rebounds. We gave them too many second chance points.
And in offense, when do you need to improve in offense?
Well, you can improve in anything. We have to read better their pick and roll defense and play with the pass instead with the dribble.
C'était une première mi-temps serrée. Qu'est-ce que vous devez changer pour la deuxième?
Juste des détails, on fait quelques erreurs individuelles des deux côtés du terrain, notamment défensivement, à l'image de la dernière action, mais je trouve que le contenu est plutôt bon. Bien sûr, on le savait, on manque un peu de rotation extérieure, juste des détails à corriger, mais pour l'instant, on est dans ce qu'on veut faire, avec plus ou moins de réussite. Merci.
Nanterre with a 1-point lead over Segafredo Virtus Bologna on the opening night of the quarterfinals in the Basketball Champions League. Antwerp winning earlier today at Nizhny Novgorod 83-68. Hapoel Jerusalem scraped a 73-73 first leg win at home over Iberostar Tenerife. Bamberg are on top of Ike 67-60 with just under 3 minutes remaining. So pretty much with the exception of the Antwerp result, which was surprisingly convincing for me, it's been nip and tuck, although Bamberg threatening to leave the first leg with a double-digit lead. And this Nanterre team will know it's obviously vital for them to get a win tonight. They want to take some type of advantage to Italy for next week's second leg. It wouldn't be ruinous if they didn't, but it would certainly not help their case. It's an awful tough place to win a basketball game at Virtus with that raucous crowd, full of passion and all that history there. And Virtus are good enough if they can put it all together to win this title. There's no doubt about it, but they also have had enough issues this season that make you think, they could easily slip up here in this quarterfinal tie against Nanterre. So all bets are off concerning this team. Tony Taylor looks like he's recovered from the bloody nose that he got. He'll probably be sore tomorrow. Interesting that really a lot of what Virtus have gotten tonight has come from Mario Chalmers. Kevin Punter did come to life there at the end of the first half. He's got a team high 11 points, in fact a game high 11 points. But what Virtus have done better than, more importantly than anything else, is they've kept the shackles on Jeremy Singlen, who has but 6 points. Couple of assists, couple of rebounds, and interesting also that Julian Gamble has just 2 points. He's only played 3 minutes and a couple of fouls, but much of that is because Treadwell has been so effective. And Treadwell again is going to start the second half. So Punter, who finished the first half strong, has the ball in his hands. His pass intercepted by Treadwell, the MVP of the game, in my opinion, for Nanterre. This far into it. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and right now Treadwell is getting it going. Here's Singlen over to Treadwell. Fakes the handoff, hands it back now to Konate for 3. And good extra effort there from Invernizzi, but Quali comes down with the rebound, and Taylor goes to the other end and puts Virtus Bologna back in front. Shaking and baking Konate, looking for some space. Treadwell holding it on to a long time. Invernizzi gets a 3. Punter corrals it. Over to Taylor. Beautiful pass to Mbaye, who goes in for the two-handed jam. Well, twice in a row, Virtus have been able to break quickly and score with a layup and now a dunk. And that forces Donadieu to call timeout. What a pass from Tony Taylor. Well, so often said, you know, the start of that second half is just so crucial, and it has not been a good one for Nanterre. Virtus that have struck quickly. So coming back to live action out of the timeout, Nanterre looking for a little bit of a spark from somebody. They'd love this man to get some opportunities. Singleton takes the bump, and it looked like he was going to get the call there for a second, but finally the whistle blew, and Singleton will go to the line.
His second, sa deuxième faute. Au lancer, Jeremy Singleton on the line for 2 shots.
So both free throws for Singleton. You see what that means to him. And also Donadieu mulling over in his own mind, when is the time right to put Gamble back in? Well, Mbaye left open. And Singleton with the rebound, almost stepped out of bounds. Bounce pass to Treadwell. Great defense by Taylor, denying the ball to Singleton. And the 5-second violation turns it over. Nowhere to pass it. So he's going to come out. He's going to cool off. Gamble's going to come in. So this gives Nanterre a new look. Gamble gambling a little bit defensively. And this time holds his ground and comes down with the rebound. I mean, Gamble's really a weapon they haven't been able to use tonight offensively. Now he's going to go down low. Konate back outside to Raker Paulson. And then Paulson tried to get the ball to Gamble, and Quali read it from a mile away. And then quickly, Corno goes in. Another layup for Virtus. All their scoring coming from layups here in the third quarter. Raker Paulson drives in. Oh, boy, that was a tough move, and he scored that with his left hand. You know Raker Paulson so much for his three-point shooting, but he's shown us tonight that he can put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. Corno's pass to Quali. Back outside to Mbaye. Now Taylor. Quali. Short little jump hook, and Gamble knocks it away from Mbaye. Konate open, so he's going to shoot it, and he's going to put Nanterre back in front. All of his points coming from behind the arc tonight. Punter from way downtown. Misses everything.
23-second violation. 1 minute de la possession.
Yannick Maria back in the game now to bring some fresh impetus as Quali goes to the bench. Nobody really asserting themselves down low, not able to assert themselves down low for either team. Paulson spins, moves, holds his ground, puts it up, misses, gets it back, puts it up and in. And again, you know, his primary weapon of choice is that three-point shot, but he's showing he can take the ball to the rack. Corno from deep drills the three. Brings it back to one. He had Paulson right beside him, breathing down his neck. Still able to make the shot. Corno's not going to give Paulson any room out front. Look at this. And great dribbling by Paulson. Picks up the foul. Nice crossover there. Oh. Paulson's activity, he's got 9 points now. Gamble trying to post up Mbai. Konate takes the foul and he'll go to the line. So 2 fouls on Aradori. And Konate, who just made a 3, misses with his first attempt at the line. He makes the second, so Nanterre now 14 of 18 at the free throw line. Any coach will take that. Over 77%. Mbai drives in, and he earns a trip to the line, and that's Gamble's 3rd foul.
Personal foul for the Mavs. Le personnel numéro 9, Julian Gamble, est seul. Sa 3e faute. Au lancer, Amat Mbai on the line for 2 shots.
This is the second, and Konate corrals it. So Nanterre still with that 1-point lead that they had at halftime. 4.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Paulson again inside, and I'll tell you what, that's a weapon that I'm not sure Virtus anticipated, and it's a great move by Donadieu to identify that as a matchup that Paulson could take down low. He's got 11 points. Mbai answers. Bamberg have won at home 71-67, the first leg over Ike. Here is a 3-pointer from Invernizzi. Off target, Gamble gets the rebound. Now, Konate. Oh boy, Taylor, doesn't matter if he took a blow to the nose. Look at that. He's got something on his nose because of that bloody nose that he had. That's a 1-point lead. Paulson again. He's got ice in his veins, folks. Perhaps not surprising coming from Reykjavik. Baker Paulson now 13 points, 6 of 9 from the floor. He has made his only 3. He's just not getting any space to put him up, so he's going down low. Moreira rebounds it out to Corneau. And Senglin corrals the rebound. His 4th of the night. And now he's fouled out on the perimeter by Yannick Moreira. Well, Ricker Paulson, I'm pretty confident the coach doesn't want to take him out, but he must feel like he has to give him a breather. 2 minutes and 40 seconds, 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the quarter. Takes out his leading scorer. And now Gamble gets the flush one home, finally. It's been a long time coming for him tonight. Aradori. Mbai, did he get it off in time? And I'm saying no, it was after the shot clock had expired. Mbai turns, nope. Referee's got it right. Djordjevic wants timeout. His team down 56-53. So positive signs here for Nanterre all of a sudden. 6 of 19 from deep, 12 of 21 inside the arc. Virtus 15 of 27 inside the arc, just 4 of 10 from deep. Saw the rebounding numbers as well for Nanterre. That's good. And there you see the shot clock has already gone off. Board lighting up. If somehow, some way, Nanterre could get this man going inside, it would really help their case. Scavicius, meanwhile, is going to put it up from deep. They might have counted that if he'd made it, but the wow. So Gamble picks up now foul number 4. So he will have to go out. So a little bit of frustration. And is it going to be Panza or Treadwell? Treadwell comes back into the game. Treadwell wasn't necessarily playing bad when he left. But nobody picks up Yannick Moreira there, and it's back to a 1-point deficit for Virtus. Chalmers also the danger man back in. Senglin, uh-oh, they made a mistake. They left him open, and they didn't pay the price. He gets another look. Scavicius just can't buy a basket tonight from deep. Only got 1 make so far. Senglin explodes, puts it up and in. Well, that could get him going. Now watch Chalmers. He's been doing it all. Bounce pass to Moreira. He's going to take Treadwell. No, Treadwell reaches in, but a foul called.
First team foul. Segafredo Virtus Bologne. 4e côté l'équipe pour les Italiens. À la prochaine fois pour lancer la libre.
13 foul on Nanterre here in the final minute, and Chalmers, punter, scores from the baseline. Haven't said his name in a while. Punter with 13 points. Gavishes to Treadwell, drives in, earns a trip to the line. The foul on Mbaye. That was a sweet pass from Chalmers on the inbounds play. And Treadwell continues to get the job done. He's now got 10 points and 8 rebounds. And they've got fewer options really now that Gamble's on the bench with 4 fouls. Panza, they could go back to him to try to eat some minutes. And it could be that we will see Panza come back out. Raker Paulson could re-enter the game. But in terms of a true pivot, it's either Panza or Gamble. Will he take a gamble on Gamble? Now the pass to Baldi-Rossi, and nobody patrolling the paint down low defensively. Final seconds ticking off the clock in the third quarter. Senglin, good. He's a good shooter. And that's how it finishes. The end of the third quarter, and Nanterre have taken a 62-59 on this shot. Got to tip your hat to him. Got a hand in the face, and he made a jumper for not the first time tonight. Shooting numbers, Nanterre getting now to the line a lot, 16 to 20. That's a big part of their success. 14 to 23 inside the arc. So crucial minutes here, the final 10 minutes for Nanterre to try to really kind of establish themselves as front runners in this quarterfinal. They want to try to open up the lead if possible before they go to Virtus next week, where it is going to be a cauldron. And now an offensive foul called on Nanterre. Treadwell. Tries to set the block and the pick rather, and he kind of moved into him a little bit. Well, Chalmers has just caused so many problems tonight. And man of his ilk. That's not surprising. He's played at the highest level. There he is. Going to work now on Singlen. Singlen moves his feet. And once again, able to get a foul called on Singlen.
Personal foul. Number 30, Jerry Singlen. He served.
And now, Treadwell and Punter exchanging blows. What's going on there? They were pushing each other off. And the referees might have to call offsetting technicals here. Let's see. They were definitely pushing each other off. And the referee's going to put their heads together and see what happened. They might have to go look on the replay monitor. Looked to me like both Treadwell and Punter were going after each other. Yep, they're going to look at it just to make sure. That's the right thing to do. Treadwell was already a little bit frustrated. He was talking with Chalmers because he had the blocking foul called on. Watch this. Underneath, they're talking to each other. So Punter raised his right elbow to get away from the trash talk, and then Treadwell just pushed him. So I'm guessing it's going to be a foul called on each one. Yep.
Number 8, Kevin Punter. Reserve, Tourmente Sportive, numéro 0, Saint-Ouen-Feu. Ex-personal foul. Number 1, Tourmente Sportive, numéro 1.
So unsportsmanlike fouls called on both. Offsetting. One on Punter. And then a foul called on Treadwell. Just a normal foul. No, that was also called an unsportsmanlike. So two unsportsmanlikes have been called. And the initial foul, Chalmers misses, but now another foul called after the missed free throw. And foul called on Invernizzi, who is doing his best imitation of being in the ruck. And then the follow and the basket by Moreira ties it up at 62. That was a productive trip down the floor for Virtus. Iskavicius having a nightmare from three-point range tonight. Punter from the left. Treadwell with the board. Not sure Punter might be trying to do a little bit too much. Iskavicius is now 1 of 8 from three-point range. If anything, the little altercation has gotten the crowd into it more. Invernizzi for 3, good! And it's also fired him up that last foul, and he takes his team's lead back up to 3. Pass to Moreira, walking a tightrope over there. Now Chalmers going up against Singlen. And not able to get it to go, and Singlen with the rebound. And then Chalmers goes down trying to draw the foul. Singlen goes in and fouled by Baldirossi. So Chalmers went down trying to bait the referee into a foul there. And Singleton looked back as if to laugh, and now a technical foul has been called on Chalmers. And I don't know if it was because of the flop. I think it was the flop. But the technical was called late if it was for the flop, surely. Anyway, Yaskavicius goes to the line and sinks the first one. Sinks the technical for the flop. Interesting how he would take that as opposed to Singleton. Maybe they want Yaskavicius to find his range. Now a hole down low on Morea, guarding Gamble. And the question becomes now, how long can Gamble last? Singleton inbounds it to Gamble, and it's with Yaskavicius. Oh, beautiful pass. Oh, and the dunk attempt. Morea came from behind. Thought he had all the ball, but the foul was called. Here it is again. Gamble thought he was going to have an easy dunk, but Morea got back over quickly. And saw some fans appealing for an unsportsmanlike. I think he probably got him on the right wrist. Remember, Gamble missed a couple of free throws earlier. Takes his time, makes this one, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point lead for Nanterre. And the fans know, well, a lot can happen over the final 7:43, but they know what this is all about. It's 2 legs. This is the first leg. Invernizzi was a little bit out of position, so he reached in and committed the foul instead of giving up the layup. That's it. Nope, that's number 4 for him. He takes a seat. And the problem with that is it put Balderossi on the line, and he makes the first. Kravitz comes back in. It's been a long time since he's played tonight. Kravitz has 2 rebounds, hasn't scored a point. And Balderossi rattles in the second. Yaskavicius again to Gamble. Gets it to go! And this time a chance for a 3-point play. And the foul on Corno. Corno hoping to say it was a foul before he'd left his feet, but the basket is good. And Gamble, well, he's got the 4 fouls, but he's giving them some production. It's been an adventure at the free throw line tonight for Julian. Gets that one to go. Tony Taylor has the ball knocked away by Gamble. It goes off of him. So 7 seconds left for Virtus to get something on this possession. Punter gets in the paint. Raker Paulson hands it off now to Jaskevičius. Nanterre's running. Quickly inside to Gamble again. He goes up and he scores. He is well and truly alive now. For the second time in a row, he's going to the line for a potential three-point play. Points, 5 rebounds for Gamble, and Virtus called timeout as this lead starts to build. 8 points now.
Push down, push down. You stay with the roller, stay with the roller, okay? Play with Bob. 2-5. Pietro, stay. Okay. Pass, Tony. Filippo, here. Bob, cut. Cut, clear out. Pietro, stay.
Paulson still the team high, 13 points. Well, Nanterre haven't shot it well tonight from three-point range, just 7 of 23, but Virtus have had some issues themselves. Just 4 of 10, doing more of their damage inside the arc, 19 to 37. Where Nanterre have been pretty good has been here at the free throw line. They're now 19 of 24. And Gamble's percentage goes up. He's now 3 of 6. And he's got 11 points and 5 rebounds. Remember, he's got 4 fouls. And Raker Paulson called for a hold. Conte's been pretty quiet tonight. He's out there on the floor. So he wasn't guarding Punter, but as Punter was trying to pass, he kind of leaned into him, kind of cross-checked him. Well, that was an easy 2 in the end for Virtus. But the question is, can Nanterre kind of keep the pressure on at this end of the floor now? In front of Gamble, turns, takes it out, cross court, Senglin puts it up, it's good! He'll take what he can get. Even if it's not a 3, even if it's with a hand in his face. Senglin is an impressive jump shooter, to put it mildly. Malverosi from up high. They're just not getting anything going to the basket there. They had the success driving to the basket early in the second half. Jaskevičius continues to put it up and misses another one, but the long rebound goes out to Nanterre. He's 1 of 9 from three-point range. He hands it off to Senglin, who puts it up, and this time he is off target. Punter. Oh, that was a tough shot, trying to shoot it over Gamble. And it looked like he might have caught the side of the backboard. And offensive foul. No, he didn't get it across midcourt in time. Well, that was a bad mistake. Yeah, so Gamble blocked it, and then it went off the backboard. Well, that's interesting. They weren't able to get the ball across midcourt in time. There, that's much better. Tony Taylor driving to the basket. That's a big swing. That's a 4-point swing there. That was a mental mistake by Singleton not to get the ball across midcourt in time. Now he gets in the paint. Bounce pass, Konate.
Number 8. Put la sera di noi, Giovanni Rassi, the serve for positive.
Not sure why Balderosa is asking for a travel there. He's not going to get that. Konate makes the first.
Antoine Grenadier, 1 point.
8-point deficit for Virtus. They try to go to work again. Here we go. And the bounce pass tipped before it got to Chalmers.
Out of bounds, second balle, remise en jeu, signe après le petit Cologne à bord.
Balderosi getting big minutes here and drives in and misses the layup. And coming from behind, stolen by Chalmers. He's been a thorn in the side of Nanterre all night long. Now Adedori backs up and attempts the three and misses it. I'll tell you, the way this thing is going right now, Nanterre the better team. It's a dangerous time for Virtus. They better put the brakes on this run for Nanterre. Scavishes back to Gamble, follows up his miss, and passes it back outside to Konate. Gamble has lasted a long time now with 3.5 minutes to go. Chalmers picks up the foul. Virtus, especially offensively, have not played well in this fourth quarter. And you wonder with the coaching change. Now they've had time to practice, obviously with Djordjevic, but offensively, Virtus right now look out of sync. The coaching changes do happen, but in mid-season, right before the playoffs, or right during the playoffs, well, his free throw is good, and now it's the biggest lead of the game for Nanterre, 10 points. Taylor drives in. Wow, he is tough. If it were up to me, I would give the ball to Taylor every single time down the floor and let him try to create something. He is so tough going to the basket. When it's money time, it's Tony Taylor time. Look at this. Even after taking the blow to the nose, he's coming out, and really, you have to say his approach, going hard to the basket, is keeping Virtus in this tie at this stage, because Nanterre are the better team. Failure to make the free throw, and Balderosi gets the offensive rebound. That's an area where Virtus have caused problems, getting offensive rebounds off missed free throws. Now the drive, and Paulson knocks it out of Taylor's hands, but he's called for a foul, and Taylor will go to the line. Taylor might have been a little fortunate on that one. But he certainly is rewarded for his hard work going to the basket, that's for sure. Missed both, and yet again another offensive rebound off a missed free throw. Then Corno takes a three, misses, and Julian Gamble able to tap it to Singlen. Boy, hard to believe Virtus came away with nothing out of that. Here's Singlen again, puts it out. That's off to the right. Balderossi has to be coming up on the season high in minutes in the Basketball Champions League. He's playing a lot tonight. And the pass right into the hands of Gamble. Completely out of sync offensively. And now a foul on Taylor. Well, Paulson, there was some holding there. Paulson, you got to really tip your hat to. He came out and really almost put the team on his back for a stretch there in the third quarter and took over the scoring. He's missed that free throw. Paulson, that was his first attempt at the line tonight, and he makes the second. So 24 of 31 now, 77%. And by misses from deep. They just have so much more success putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket. Here's Singlen. No look pass to Konate, who drives in. Oh, he's rejected. But a foul called before the swat.
Number 25. Foul out. Second free.
5 on Corno. He goes out. He's played a lot of minutes tonight. Montero's biggest lead tonight is 10 points. They trail right now by 9. 2 free throws for Konate. And again, you know, the second leg will be played next week. What is the psychology? How is it going to affect the confidence of this Nanterre team if they go away with a decisive win tonight? How does it affect the confidence of Virtus? And Paulson picks up another one and puts Taylor back on the line. Taylor's had his struggles at the free throw line his last couple of trips. So Paulson fouls out as well. Points, but he's missed all 3 of his attempts from the line. That's his first make. Virtus right now in Italy are in 7th place, but at 12 and 11, the same record as 3 other teams, 2 of whom are out of the playoff positions. Taylor makes just 1 of 2, and this time it's Nanterre to get the rebound. Vital last final minute and a half here. It's not necessarily about the win. It's about the point differential, the goal differential. Konate. A little extra burst, gets inside, goes up. And Valder also called for a foul. Thought he had pretty good position there.
Au lancer, Lau Konate on the line for 2 shots.
He was trying to get it to Gamble. Konate makes the first. So right now they've equaled their biggest lead of the game. This will be their biggest lead of the game if he makes this one. And it is 11 points. Adedori. And from three-point range, finally one falls for Mbaye. Well, that was big for Virtus. They'd like to get a stop and go down and score again, though. Konate. Now Taylor again. Punter for 3. Front back of the rim, but there's Mbaye for the follow. 5 quick points for Amat Mbaye. And Donadue calls timeout as valuable points off their lead have been taken away here by the Frenchman.
Hey, oh, l'objectif c'est d'aller jusqu'au bout de la possession. Jusqu'au. Comme ça. On fait fist. On a joué. D'accord? Hey, hey, Julian ici. Oh, Hugo ici. Hey, Hugo.
Good job on the boards for Nanterre, but they have had struggles again getting those missed free throw rebounds.
Hugo, tu vas le toucher à pleine vitesse.
Hey, that's the big one. Go hand up, just try it like that. That was right. That was right. Hey, go.
Ça va être chaud. On ne lâchera rien.
The passionate Nanterre faithful hoping their team can come out, get another basket, and perhaps leave this game with a 9 or 10 point lead. Well, Senglin maybe will get an attempt. He's got the ball. It's go time. Senglin for 3. Gamble with the rebound. And goes up and draws the foul. And I just wonder, in his position, that's what he's got to do. And it's natural instinct to go right back up. But you wonder maybe if he could do it all over again, if he might pass it out and take more time off the clock. Treadwell will come in for Gamble after the free throws. Well, he was 3 of 6. Now he's 4 of 7 on the night at the free throw line. 12 points, 11 rebounds. Boy, Gamble's numbers shot up in this fourth quarter. They bricked that one. And now again, another chance for Adedori and Virtus. They miss it. They've got a little bit of time. And that's how it finishes. I think Gamble might not have realized how much time was left. There's still a few seconds. But it is an 83-75 win for the French team. Nanterre 92 over Segafredo Virtus Bologna of Italy. Second leg to be played next week. Well, you have to say with for Nanterre, in many respects, the sum, the whole rather, is greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, they just seem to be playing at a level, certainly their highest level of the season, and giving themselves a chance to do something special this season, to go all the way from the qualification round 3 to the final 4. And I don't know who could have predicted that before the season. They came out strong in the fourth quarter. Virtus, again, kind of not looking fluid on offense. I'm not convinced that they really know what they want to do offensively. They're certainly not doing it. Defensively, they look much better.
Okay, Mario, you did a great job, but you lost tonight. What is your first feeling about this game?
It was a good game. You know, it's our first time playing them. Well, my first time playing them. We just got to be ready for the next game, be more physical, and come ready to play.
What do you need to improve for the second game in Italy?
We just got to get more rebounds. Box out, take better shots, and play more together as a team.
It will be a different atmosphere with the crowd, with your public in Bologna.
No, it's the same. I like the crowd. I like playing on the road, but I like playing at home too. So now they got to come to our house and do the same thing.
Thank you.
Well, he talked about the rebounding, and Nanterre had 39 rebounds to 33. In terms of the shots, just 4 threes for Bologna on the night. One of those late ones by Mbaye. Yeah, out-rebounded by 9. 13 offensive boards for Nanterre. 17 assists for Nanterre. 4 more assists. 2 more blocks. So the French team definitely has given itself a chance to win here. This tie. Gamble with 12 points. England 16. Miscavicius with 8. Chalmers had the 2 steals. Treadwell all over the stat sheet tonight. He had a great game. Paulson as well, finished with 14 points. Really carried the team for a while in that third quarter when they were struggling. But a lot of questions for Virtus. You know, they're down 8 points going into the second leg. It's interesting with the change in coaching now. Brian Qualley only getting 10 minutes and 19 seconds. And certainly with Filippo Valderossi tonight playing almost 17 minutes. Of course, he did have 9 rebounds to go with his 7 points, but he was just 2 of 7 from the floor for Virtus. And Kravic started, played just over 10 minutes, but took just 1 shot in Morea. So it seems like on the interior with Virtus right now, there's a little bit of, they don't seem to be getting the bigs involved like they were under Sacripanti. And that's going to be one of their challenges going into next week. And when you compare that to Nanterre, of course, that you would say the same with them. They were struggling to get their bigs going, but Gamble ended up with 12 points in the end. And in the end as well, Treadwell had 11 points. So they got 23 points out of that low post. And Raker Paulson was, they're quite rightly, there's Gamble on one of his trips to line for a 3-point play. Raker Paulson was terrific posting up down low tonight. So Senglin Virtus knew what he was capable of. You know, for a lot of the game, they were right on him, like white on rice, but he still ended up getting a team-high 16 points. That's a sign of a good player. So 83-75, Nanterre 92 win it over Segafredo Virtus Bologna. It's Nanterre with an 8-point lead at the end of the first leg of this quarterfinal in the Basketball Champions League. Thanks for watching.
Jeremy, what a tight game tonight. What an intensity in this first game.
Yes, I mean, two great teams battling, man. I mean, they gave it their all, we gave it our all. I mean, we knew how important this game was. You want to get that first win, and we know we got another one next week.
Tell me about the second half of Julian Gamber. He brings a lot of energy and a lot of work in the rebound.
Yeah, he came in. Tree played great, rebounding and everything, and Julian came in when Tree got in foul trouble and was finishing everything, and he gave his energy on both ends today.
Tell me about the second game in Italia, in Bologna. It will be a different atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we play good at home, and, you know, we've been focusing on the road, so we know that that's going to be a tough game, but, you know, we're ready and we're going to prepare.
What do you have to change for this game?
Just, you know, come together more. You know, we can improve on offense and defense. We can improve every game, and that's what we're trying to do.
Do you have already the Final Four in your head?
One game at a time, but, I mean, that's our dream. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you.
Monsieur Daniel Gagueras, vous avez perdu votre carte IGC. Monsieur Alexandre. Monsieur Alexandre